Just mailing my ring back. Can't do this shit.
Hello. Candy. Once again, my name is Ronald Genrio Love. The date is 1/27/19. Captain's log. I'm 28 years old. Through my life, I have been journeying out, journeying out to find out the truth about everything. And in the midst of me through my everyday struggles, I run into aliens and they give me nothing but knowledge. Before I continue on with that information, basically, today I've been going through what we all have to go through in this lifestyle. And that's our animalistic, instinctual behavior to just do what we want and mate with whoever we want and just be whoever we want to be. See, as I was homeless, I didn't have to abide by anybody's expectations. Being a woman, but I could just use the earth to satisfy all my needs. But then I'm without the people who are hypnotized by this illusion that these societies, these governments are trying to keep them confined, has them controlled by addictive ideas through methods of manipulation. So it's just me and some natives. You feel me? The ones that know and ones that don't know and the ones that really know, and just trying to keep that tradition going. Why they trying to help us the best way they can. But they gotta induct themselves in the game just to help us out sometimes. Just like the aliens did me. They found me astray, took me back to the jungle, taught me the truth, and put me back in the game. Now I know I gotta play. But today, I realized something I wanted to talk about for a minute is pretty much it's something. I'm not gonna have the answers to everything. Nor does anything ever have to have an answer to it. An argument is only a means to a solution. No one actually wins, you know, because that information wasn't yours to begin with. It was all of ours. So even if you won the conversation, you should be humble enough to know that the information is for all, and you didn't win anything. If you're not humble enough to know that, then you never won. But once you know that, you win along with everybody else. and you need to get that message across, or we all fail to understand. You just sound like another chauvinistic jerk that just told everybody off. Sound like an asshole or something. So what I'm dealing with today is a complex situation in the fine tuning of how they actually have us by our beastly nature because of us being dumbed down or addicted to certain aspects of material, flash or something. So a walkthrough or what I just went through is just, my health is getting up to par, and electronically these females can feel my sperm, and just being real with it, they peeping me out and stuff like that. And before I came back in the game, I had spunk, and I was, what the deal is. Me being from, you know, the hood or the ghetto, I was already more than capable of combating any groups or societies with my mind and my stature from just being, from that neighborhood, from those type of neighborhoods. No matter who you were or what you were capable of, that's how you see, black people succeeding in that way. That's just our element to just be multimedia. That's who we are. That's our element. It's dark matter. We can make anything out of anything and make it look like starlight, like outer space, like the craziest stuff, the coolest thing you ever seen. So I had that element, and I wasn't tripping. So I'm up here now. I'm back in the game, and now females looking at me a certain way, and I know I got to stay humble, and I never got to get up to that point where I actually believe I'm above something, because it's nothing but a trap. A lot of them don't even know the truth. I ain't gonna put them out there like that. Everybody's intelligent, but they have to go through that breaking down of that blockade in which the majority of us are facing because we've been programmed since birth. Especially if you're not a seeker of knowledge and you're just taking it for what it is, and you're not looking for the truth. You're just taking it. You're not caring. You're really in sorrow with a smile on your face. Fake laughing at a restaurant. Because you don't want to know the truth. You don't want nobody to say the truth. So everybody a blockade together to make sure the truth isn't told, because it scares the living shit out of people. And it messes up their actual reality. They don't think mass media and television programming and institutionalization actually matters. It does. So I see these females and whatnot. They see me, and by nature, every single last one of them, you're a man. You walk up, this and that, yada yada. You look like you got yourself together. You just keeping yourself at the par, and you got a bit of confidence on you. What they thinking? They thinking that you can put that. They think that you can put that dick down, but there's a blockade in that part alone. They're not thinking about that. They're thinking about, man, I really want his children. It's not even to the smallest extent of anybody they do that to. A woman approaches you, looks at you up and down, no matter who it is or what type of female it is. In that stature, they want your children. That's actually what they really want from you. in the infinity in which we would all had everything, and where we belong, in which we all belong, what would be stopping us from having children right then and there? Sex enhances the environment around us. You know, enough trying to make my point. It's just the actual truth. We was born naked. Are you serious? Our natural settings is to be naked or have, you know, colorful things around us or skins or whatnot, wearing them, but we're completely bare naked. What is stopping me? What is stopping you, the predatorial woman, to having my children? Nothing. Now, what actually happens, funk out back in our society, pause, what actually happens when I see you in the mall, at the mall, in the library, like I was about to say, no matter where, they be like, oh, bam, that electricity hits them automatically. What you thinking about? What kind of car you got? What kind of clothes you got? This, that, and the other. They're trying to see if you got it all together so I can come to your house. You can dig me out or whatever. But if you really got it together, I'm trying to keep you in my pocket. You really, really, really got it together? You wearing a suit? You got a watch on? You nice and shit? Guess what? I'm going to bring that conversation up with my girls. They going to get in cahoots. We're going to try to, you know, dig deep in your resume. We're going to look at your bio. See if you got some friends. Look at your background. You check out female having your kids. Because you now have the foundation in which the earth has for us naturally. And that's when she's going to want to mate. It's then going to be safe for her to mate. She no longer has anything to say about you. Because now you have the earth at your disposal. That's all she's looking for, is resources for her children. We're so intelligent. We're so bi-intelligent. It's almost multi-dimensional in which we have comprehension in our own consciousness. Because we have one of being, then self, and then an aura of an emitter. Like an aura of a perception. Like a B4 vision for who we are. It's like something we're witnessing, and in time, in life, dealing with. We're like alive. We're like, this is us being alive. You are a being. We know that we exist. But it's like you do not know that you're alive until you actually I don't even know how to put it. It's like a deeper consciousness now we're not giving credit to. It's like you're alive, you're being, you're here right now. You are alive right now. But your being is just your being. You in your being right now. Being alive is a mentality of your conscious mind. It's like I control this being because I'm alive. But the dimension behind this being, this dimension of being a being is a dimension of itself. being alive is a subconscious being. No, being alive is the conscious being. The being is the subconscious being that knows it's alive. Being alive is the conscious being that's actually walking forward in unison with everything that's going around it. But the natural being that goes, no, okay. Being alive is the natural being that is in unison and aligned with nature itself. That's the second one. But the subconscious being is your spiritual being, the one that's actually controlling this being in the motion of nature through electricity, through the electronics of everything. It's like a phantom being or something. But it's like the one that's always talking to you before you make your decisions. And then this is what I'm trying to say right here. So the one that says that you're alive is the one that is in unison with everything. And that is complete raw thought. That's the first step you take in everything of that matter. But we don't ever, we do, but in this natural setting, in this society that manipulates our natural ways, because we're not acting completely natural. You know what I'm saying? You want to pee, you got to pee on the tree. People be like, oh, you can't tell me that. I know I'm acting natural. You are? Okay. What's this? What did you just want to say to me just then? You didn't act natural. What is it? That's my point. You didn't act natural because of either the people you're dealing with or the people around you that have a different perspective upon what you say, or they're abiding by a consistency of laws that they've been programmed to believe is true in order to keep themselves and you in check, in order to keep this society running the way they want it to run. Yeah, I ain't finna get too long. I don't get too far messing with this music. You know, people at home, they got stuff they really want to do when they see certain people or things. You're not acting naturally. You've been conformed. You've been formulated, as well as myself. But this is also natural because we've been through these motions. It's all familiar to ourselves. Once again, that's why people have spiritualism. This is why people dabble in their spiritual congregations. They go to churches to evolve, to get out of these dimensions. You know what I'm saying? The Bible is really is articulated knowledge in the art of storytelling to invoke thought, so you can gravitate closer to the stars, to be more angelic. It's just growth to make a better seed as a Christianing, making children. You all want your children to be angels? You need knowledge. You want happiness. The pursuit of happiness is always to the light, which is always described as the heavens or knowledge. So, the stars, alchemy, which we all are designed by from, is the light. That is the frequency that is always frequencing in our head. So my point is that, so continue on what I was saying, is that you don't necessarily, well, this is a sensitive ass time to be talking about this shit. That whole fly anyway. But so basically this is what I'm dealing with as a whole. It took me 20 minutes to explain this. And I'm saying that, you know, off whim, you can just tell how intelligently capable we are by how we are able to manipulate our own emotions and configure our every movement to abide by these laws, to stay away from fear, infliction of hurt, or our own advancements to intellectual gain in any type of way, just by how we interact with each other in society. So this is what you do as a woman. You are a complete predator. You see a man, and the first thing you do, you look at him, and you probably think he's scrumptious. You think he looks amazing, and you want his children right then and there. But then, oh, I see what I was describing. That third person that has to be intelligent, that your electricity has to foresee after you're being natural and you want that person's children, is you have to abide by this society. You're not acting naturally. You are also acting instinctively, which is natural, but not completely natural to how you want to be. Because how you want to be is that you want to be a predator and you want that person's child immediately. Now, everybody's different, but from standards of, you know, the male and female, we are both, you know, primary predators when it comes to each other. The woman has a complete obligation to have those children, but she just needs, you know, natural resources around her. The man needs, he doesn't necessarily, he knows he doesn't need resources around him. He just needs to ensure that his so he does need resources. He does need resources as well as the woman, but she needs more of a bed of resources to make sure her offsprings continue. That male can travel and actually they all can do the same. They both can do the same, but that's not my point. I want to clear that part up because I don't want to sit up here and lie to people when I catch flames in my head and I don't go about these flames. So they both need resources, and we both need resources for our offsprings because they all need food in order to eat. But women are more predatorial because their obligation is to chase the penis in order to have those children. They need our seeds. The men will chase the women because they want to give their seeds. But are women will follow, but the women has to follow the male because they need those seeds in order to have those children. So they have to become the primary predator. The male is the giver of those seeds, and he is always chasing the women. But he can he can pollinate with more women than the times that she can become impregnated. So she has to wait in line or find a man, in which a man's job is always to find the woman, but as many women as possible, because he can keep going and going and going and going. So he's going to be further occupied than a woman. So she's more predatorial towards how she has to lay her trap when it comes to men, whether she knows it or not. A man, all he really needs to see is beauty, the foundations around him, so on and so forth, and he can keep going. He can keep giving the life away and give out multiplications of different combinations of himself. There's no negative or positive in what I'm trying to say. So I'm glad I cleared that, the other part up. I shouldn't ever try to get points and giving out information. It's just the playing on information. That's what I'm dealing with. It's just ever since I got back on my feet, it's just now people like praise you because you all right and you look good and stuff. And it's like, nah, man, you never understood. You know what I'm saying? It was to find out the truth. It wasn't to to try to be like all the rest of these people that's like, trying to burn off on people in Mercedes Benzes or blow up just to destroy the culture. I'm not even trying to say that, but it's just people doing it all for the wrong reasons, and we got to use our art for all the right reasons. So I gotta keep knocking myself down, but keep going with the flow and hang on to this energy because I gotta still stay upbeat, but I gotta make sure I stay completely humble, so I can tell people the real. So So the woman needs, she doesn't need more time. It gives her, we're both intelligent. Don't get it twisted. A man knows what he wants, and his job as because he's dealing with an array of a multiplicity of immensely creative other men that need to attract women instead of going out on foot all the time to pollinate as many women as he possibly can. She has to, as he is competing with other men that do the same thing as I just said, she does the same thing, but with her sexuality. In through that, it's like it's like an infinity sign. They're doing their thing while we're doing our thing, and we're constantly attracting each other, and people aren't getting weeded out. They're all getting attracted to another realm with a different aspect of you know brethren and stuff, brethren and different dimensions of people with alternate attractive means that fits them, or it's their time to deal with that until they come back or deal with another group of people, and then they're attracted. But all these people are supposed to be having sex and intermingling with each other, intermating with one another. They're not supposed to be passing up on these deals at all. So, so as these women are attracting you and alluring you to them to you to themselves, they have to sit there and you gotta peep game when they wearing these clothes or just around. You gotta see that they saw you already. You look and you think, oh, they not paying. Trust me, all these girls, they be looking, they be looking around. Trust me, all these females that know. I mean, you ever speak to a woman? She knows everything that goes wrong, and you can never get a woman to like apologize or unless she wants your children. Like if she wants you full on, it's like you got her, but you don't disrespect her in any way. It's just she now has what she wants, so she's completely full on, with you unless she has some, not it's not supposed to be an alternate motive because people gain that through this society so they can keep making choices, you know. But in actuality, since we're supposed to be intermingling, uh, intermating with one another, we're supposed to be in an infinite cycle of having children with one another, and it's not supposed to be any creeping around. You know, that's just a natural means, and it comes with a lot of confusion. But you see a woman like just pour her heart out with somebody that she really want, but you see but you know, in all, you see a woman, you see women, or you speak to them, you know that they're extremely smart and they're very attentive. They're very, they're very particular, and they're very, attentive, like intuitive. Like they be like they got eyes on the back of their head, like they're paying attention to absolutely everything. They're just they're processing it all the time. So you think you walking past somebody and they never saw you, and then all of a sudden they looking in these boutiques? No, they saw you, and they made their decisions, and they're looking around, constantly making decisions, and it's processing through their heads. They saw everything that you want, that they wanted, that you got on, and they peeped. Trust me, they would have bumped into you about an hour ago. You know, it's not a game. And you on their level or something like that. That's why you also can't be mad at if somebody don't like you or not, nothing like that. When it comes to a female and a woman, female and a man, because they're just making their decisions, and everybody's attracted to having children, and in the everybody just needs that choice. That's all they're doing. They're just trying to pick the highest means of comfortability so they can have their children one day. They're just trying to up their game. They just not saying that you below any game or nothing like that. It's just they're just trying to they're trying to make their moves or whatnot. Men are different. You know what I'm saying? We do build empires and we do build bloodlines, but we have to do it in terms of manufacturing and through our creativities and our imaginative ways, and we can be quite savvy, cunning. That's how we do it. So as well as they do it. So my point is, what I'm really trying to say is that we have to be some pretty intelligent and incredible creatures for us naturally to be this multidimensional and actually ignore our reproductive natures and do nothing but absolutely create create to gain resources through our imagination and creative juices, but pretty pretty naive still if we have let go of our profound love for life itself, because we shouldn't be letting these we shouldn't let establishments like Planned Parenthood or abortion clinics or Plan B or condoms or STDs or healthcare or bad education and mass incarceration, juvenile halls, and things that are really killing our people, killing our children, getting your tubes tied, and just all these things. What up? I got the new Fab P Diddy jacket is joint. Trade it all. Take your dusty ass next door with them bootlegs, man. Nobody want that around here. All these aspects that's real, man. In which we should honor and love life, it's like we've now taken for granted, and we're not standing up to any of it. I mean, we are standing up to it. I'm sorry, but not as much as we should. I'm giving us credit to us being this intelligent and being this creative scientifically, making cars and these vast architectural monuments and stuff like that. But how can we let these people destroy babies, lock innocent people up when the governments that are controlling that are in charge of our environments aren't even helping us out the way they're supposed to be, you know? And then locking the people up that they know they could actually help in these environments. You see what's really going on? And then this food, and then the food that they're giving us and is detrimental to our health. And these governments that are in charge of these establishments or have some say so in completely stopping them, they don't. You know? I mean, so if you're this government and you're supposed to be governing everything around us, why don't you actually do the right thing and get us to stop killing our children? Stop locking us up and fixing these communities all around the world, not only here but all around the world. Let's stop having wars. Why don't you why don't you stop these factories from feeding us this food that is the cause of these diseases? Why don't why don't people just get healed because they are sick? This makes absolutely no sense that we could allow these type of things to go on and not be full on the front lines of stopping it as beings of life itself. Like, we are in control of the environment around us. We can do anything scientifically, intellectually, psychologically, bio biometrically, anything. We are in charge of this life around us. This is our responsibility to be individual governors of this land, of this universe. And we're letting some elitist punks manipulate our environments and kill off our people, our children, our land, our animals, giving us whack clothing, promoting whack music, establishing horrible businesses. Like, you mean that us, the people that create that loins created everything around us, our inner beings that are attached to the universe, created, and we are just as much as the universe is of us. We created all this literally, and we're allowing a certain part of ourselves to actually destroy us because that's really what's going on. Come on, man, we can't allow things like that to continue on. We have to be better than that, more intelligent than that. We have to be we have to be we got to be we got to be more animate about saving each other, saving all things. We need to be more respectful to ourselves and others. We need to really use our minds and change the world, literally. And the time is now, not later. We've seen too many videos. We've seen too many deals. We know our history front, backs, and forwards. You know, we don't need to dwindle out to into another world. We don't need to lose another generation to the graves because we can't all stand tall right now and make a change. But then we forget about it and nothing happens. So we got to really make a change and actually do something. Mark assignment and don't know what you're talking about. But that's just it. It really makes me think that We went through our times too many times and nothing has ever changed. We need to always we need to never forget what this world is really supposed to be. What we really need to be having behind us in the movie screens. What we really need to be creating with these sciences. What we really need to be capable of actually doing. We need to keep these things in actual mind through on an everyday basis. It's not, oh, I'm just trying to open up this business, I'm just trying to do this, I'm just trying to hit that, and man, everybody different and I know they got their own spill, but man, you can only imagine if we all got to do exactly what we wanted to do to make the world better. It will be an incredible place, but we become complacent with these everyday facades that really mean nothing to anybody. You go out and people like, so, you know, so, you know, okay, but what you really doing? And ultimately, people fear certain people, but ultimately, people as societies, groups, communities, you name it, cultures, tribes, they love, not respect, they love people that do the right thing. I mean, even the horrible people, they'll get on their knees because they absolutely love the fact that you actually care so much that you sat down and used your mind to change the world. You actually tried to help and you succeeded, and they thank you. That a bad person, the person that's corrupt, be like, I thank God that you were actually here to stop me and stop everybody around us because we were completely out of control, and this is the world that I really wanted to live in, bro. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, these are the words that's coming out their mouth, or would come out of their mouth, and will one day because it's gonna happen. It's natural. But you know what I'm saying? Because they can't have a million children. They can't have a million children. These women, these politicians, they can't have a million children. They can't even have all these children while they have, imagine their the point of view if they had all these children, killing these people in these wars, having all these insane asylums or these mass incarcerated places and stuff like that. Everybody would be affected. And people believe they're not affected because we've been taught to believe that we're not all family, but we are. You know, you have relatives or people that you knew or something like you be like, okay, I don't care. You do. You actually do care. It was like, oh, somebody in there that actually do care about and stuff like that. But it is, but it's not really that way. We all care about each other, and then until you actually have somebody that's in jail that you actually do care about, and then it's all of a sudden a factor, a faction. You know what I'm saying, in a way, or even yourself, and all of a sudden it's a problem because it always was a problem and you knew it was. You know what I'm saying? Or people wouldn't be having a conversation, or there wouldn't be a certain connotative emotion towards it that you would understand and know of. You know, I heard, but I ain't in there. What you talking about? You talking about jail? You know what I'm saying? You talk about, you weren't that embryo that was killed. You're not eating this bad genetic food. You know what I'm saying? You're not having sex with that girl because she acting snobby or something like that, but you really don't want to be in jail. You really don't want to eat genetically altered foods. You really don't want to kill your own dog for food or eat certain animals that you've been hung out with, for pig meat and stuff like that. You really don't want to go to jail, and you really, really, really want to have children with these women. You know what I'm saying? And women is vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So it's just my spiel on you walk and you see this fly honey, you be like, man, that girl bad. She sees, she's like, okay, you see, right then and there, y'all want to get down and you want to have kids, you want to just have flourish, and you just want to have a good time, don't even want to worry about nothing, not from a money aspect, but I was taught and kicked out of the blockage of my mind is that everything is supposed to be infinite. You know what I'm saying? So if everything was infinite, as soon as we saw each other, You know, how in the world would we have forgotten about, you know, having sex right then and there, and having a flourishment of children everywhere. You know, not only from me, but from your homegirl and, you know, her homegirl and your cousins and, you know, and my homeboy doing it with y'all people and, you know, even you, and we all a family. We all real family now. You know, just gotta imagine stuff like that. But man, what was I gonna say? Those are just one of the things I was really taught. I was really taught those type of things, and you know, it's just crazy. I forgot what I was gonna say, but oh, so it that's what entails with that's, you know, so one being a savior, so one that's that's how you know that they took the Bible and they put their own spin on it, because some of it is our knowledge. Because you go, like I explained before about Jesus, is Jesus is silent for Jesus in Egyptology. It'll all translate over to Heru, but then just skipping over to that is Heru. So in the singularity of that word, an individual word, is hero, but in the Jesus connotation, just Jesus, it would be hey Zeus, as in hey light. So the word Jesus means just us, because it's just you, us. Justice, justice is in us, and we are each other, and we are our own saviors. And as individuals, we are heroes. And Jesus means hey light. That means we are all individual lights. And you are a lightsaver, because you are a savior of the lights as an individual. You are a Christian. You are the savior of children, of light. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to step back and actually see, through these words and information and this knowledge, Christians were the hugest sorcerers that ever lived. They used the symbology of Saintism to keep them away from the knowledge of the Kabbalah, which is the roots. The darkness, the Satanism, is actually the roots in which everything begins, and that's in nature's transcendence. So nature itself is the light that will save us all, and we are the light, and we will save each other, and we got to know that. And the sciences of the universe is our power. We think our hands stop where our hands stop, but our hands extend out throughout the universe, because we can manipulate everything around us. Christians were the hugest warriors that ever existed, and have ever existed. They may not have been called the Christians, but the warriors of the light and the right of all were the hugest scientists, alchemists, because they understood the universe and the balance and the harmony in which all things stood better than everybody else, and they respected it, and they protected it with everything that they had, because they knew what their job was as that being that had this responsibility of being a governor and maintaining that balance along with nature. You were a protector. You were a protector of all things. That was your job as a governor of this land. Your hands extended everywhere, and that's what you did. True shit. Christians were the rawest warriors They were Herus. They were heroes. They were Jesuits. They were for justice. They were for the light. They were Jesus. They were our saviors. They were lifesavers. They were Star Wars warriors. They were Star Warriors. Real shit. Probably another reason why niggas probably got, visited by some aliens before all this shit happened. That's the only reason why this shit makes sense. Cause niggas out there putting in work and they going to hell and hot waters just to fight evil. Niggas going for that real. That's probably really what happened. It's another one. For real though. But yeah, like I was saying, you're not acting naturally. You are not acting naturally. You know, I'm not even gonna bust a joke as like you acting like a black dude at a good job. Cause everybody ain't gonna get that joke, but a lot of people do. But yabba dabba do. But you're not acting naturally. I'm telling you, female see you, she putting it on. You think she not wagging? She wagging. She wagging for you. And then another lifetime, y'all would have hit them bushes. You know what I'm saying? It is not a game. It is not a front. It's not a facade. You think they ain't see you? They saw you. Vice versa. Dude saw you. He looking at you. He ain't looking at you because you just cute. That nigga looking at you because he want to mount you, and he does not want to pull out because he wants those children for all life in him. And after he sees you and you look at him a certain way, that nigga gonna go do some push-ups, or he gonna go get a better job or something. He's like, man, fuck that. I want she have my children one day. That's natural. That's natural. So they split that. So it's like men and women argue all the time, but they're really doing this. They're really arguing, but they're passing their naturality. It's like they're linking, and they're actually for to use the light. It's like they're linking for the light. Oh, it's like they argue. Okay, I'm not correct. It's like they argue and they correct themselves all the time, and they link themselves at the light. They go, I want a child and I wanted a better life for him and stuff like that. But then they cross and they hit that target and they go like, okay, we got to make a better word for him. And I got to go do my spiel and you got to go do your spiel so we can have a child back to the thing, go to the infinity sign, to the light so we can have more children. And they doing this and they may argue and it may seem like they passed the light, but they really hit the light and they're like, okay, we got to do this to make more babies and this and that. It's an infinity sign. It's the DNA. It's Kundalini. We're always speaking to each other through each other. It's negative and positive. You know what I'm saying? It's protein. So, 52. This is another song I don't even know about. Let me see. I got to erase some stuff. I don't know. This is on YouTube. I mean, I'm not listening to Pandora. I think I already said that the movie Alien versus Predator is actually an ancient story about male and females, uh, and how men become extremely creative, but women are like extremely savvy and um, uh, very cunning. Yeah, but men are very mechanical and constructive. But women can become completely intelligent because that alien was it was a reason why he was so feminine is because women can become extremely scientific, but but because men would be like because a men's hammer would reach with hammers so far into like I don't want to say righteousness because just putting a woman in another light. It's like a man can work just as hard as a woman's science, you know, through his science. So they can both work as hard as one another. They just they work they work neck and neck. But this is like once they climax from each other's individuality and come back and try to hit each other with a different a different sword from each other's creativity. It's like they're neck and neck. You know what I'm saying? No matter how one another or people audience sees it. You know what I'm saying? It's the male and female now as individuals and like storylines and lifespans. Nature itself is so transcendent that it can never be seen that way unless it's actually seen that way or it's told in a story or a certain poem or a storyline. So it can be told that way, but it's never that simple. Life would just plainly be boring. You know what I'm saying? It's always is a very interesting living experience. It's never like that. Like it has to have some type of plot. There's always a plot. Um, So even if that type of deal happens, it's always a huge storyline plot, and it's a huge plot that is just it's incomprehensible because it's so the scenarios are so in depth. It has to do, people and individuals and just full on in particular is everybody's intertwined with one another and we're all dealing with nature and life in general, that there's no way that you could possibly conceive everything that's going on. Just know that we are all in love and we absolutely love being family. You know what I'm saying? We have our ups and downs, and that's just the way it is. More ups than downs. Sometimes you got to go down and go up. You just that's how you grow. But I have a note here that says children have full recollection of the spirit realm when they first come out, acting completely on instinct. So they teach us so from the spirit world, like they play and they ask us, very natural questions and such, that so on and so forth. But they know where babies come from. Like they don't have to ask too many questions. They just know. But they're so into they're still into like being sperm and being in the spirit realm is that they just don't completely actually know. They just know. They just don't know, in this world. But they know, like, okay, they're making babies. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm hungry. Okay. Okay, show's pretty cool. I'm not sure if they had cartoons in spirit world or whatever. But we have more. But okay, this is why you have to pay attention to your elders. Like people believe that they don't need to listen to their elders, or people having less respect for their elders nowadays because a lot of our old generation is dying out. Okay, the reason why you got to listen to us because even though you have recollection of the spirit realm and you're more sporadic and spontaneous, you got fresh ideas. You're extremely playful. We got a whole lot more freedom because all this fighting we had to do that we had to do before your ass was born. You believe you need nothing from us, but you know nothing about this world, and we have full on experience of this world. You know, speaking upon the differences speaking upon our age difference. So that's why you listen to us because we can actually teach you something about this world just because we have more experience here, plain and simple. People don't people need more articulation than that, but they need more information than that. But what more information do you need if we flat out in war and you know you don't even know where to go, what's going on, but you just acting naturally, so you picking up what you got and you just throwing it around. Now you're not seeing it like that, and you just walking around without nothing in your head because you believe because you are a light, so you have to believe that you can't be touched, that you are Superman, but you don't know necessarily. Like, you do things naturally from a child standpoint. You wanna pick things up and you put things together and just want to see if they react with one another. That's what you do naturally. And soon enough you get, okay, this does that, that does that, that does that, that does that. You know what I'm saying? We all grow up to be scientific through those ways. We learn and we, see the opposite sex and you're like, okay, that works, and stuff like that. We do that all from scratch, and we had to learn every single last one of those things. You know what I'm saying? But if you stuck in like a society like this and you just came out the womb and motherfucker is just not copper in the river in Africa, they took all the copper out and it's not where everything is not where it used to be or supposed to be, and they telling you can't do this and that left and right. Nigga, you gotta listen to somebody that's been here for a minute, because niggas is tripping. They ain't got all the shit that was supposed to be here, that nature told me that was supposed to be here. And I got some information through my parents' loins, my parents' DNA or their genes, and they told me that I had to be some type of key, because we have constant conversation with our sperm and our membranes, our mucous membranes, through our DNA, and then we have children. They become solutions through the nature and food and everything that we do and eat. You know what I'm saying? I got a recollection of that, but and it's in my DNA. That's how I was formed, but I still don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just being myself, and naturally, you will become an answer. You know what I'm saying? That's where some of that comes from, because it's like everything that you need is actually in you, because you are the light, and you were made by the universe and environment of it. So you are a product of this environment, which is everything, which is very true. But listen up, until you actually figure that out. This is what you need to know. Don't listen to everything and listen to the truth, but that's what you need to know, is the truth. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. So, music is very important. Did I delete that? I need to delete that. Music is very important. I like jazz music. I like all kinds of music. I was listening to jazz music today. I gave off on a rant about how we were all rapping alchemists, and you just imagine if you could just rap in a microphone or at a studio, and then it could print out like a 3D printer or like some Ghostbuster jetpack, and actually print the architecture, um, like the like our ancient brothers and sisters did with levitation in ancient times, as they used acoustics to build massive monuments. So I was just saying, like, since jazz used so much harmonic instruments in unison as one in the orchestrated way, I was just wondering what a beautiful place that might make. That's really what I was coming from with that. Um, Trees and okay. So this is on the health. This is on the health aspect. I already preached for a while, for an hour. So trees in nature create mushrooms and weeds. Trees and nature create mushrooms and weeds and different byproducts of taking in bacteria and oh shit, and like viruses and stuff, and they come out with weeds and like shrub bushes and different flowers, and and puts and pots of that nature, from the germs and viruses that they get. See, so uh nutrients and energy is spread out through everything, of course, but there's certain elements that all go to certain things. So, like, acidic things, or spiky things, or more aggressive, I shouldn't, first of all, everything is harmonic, and everything is genuine. So when you see something that looks scary, or I'm speaking in terms of like plants, it doesn't always mean that it obtained like an aggressive frequency, or an aggressive germ or virus or bacteria, or any type of certain vegetation, certain energy that got it to look like that. You know what I'm saying? It may just look like that to you, so you don't eat it in a way. But there might be certain other things that see it and look say it's beautiful and is completely capable of apprehending it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that's just how it. That's how it goes. So trees make mushrooms from this. Grass make mushrooms from like bacteria and stuff, fungi, and moss, all that stuff. So let me see. Rocks do the same thing with like layers and making other rocks and compressing to high pressurized crystals and uh, um, high pressurized crystals and um, they get you get minerals from rocks and different layers. Just crystals and diamonds and stuff like that. They all get that from nature and different bacterias and all different kinds of elements. But those are all like those are all like elements that came out of that 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 nature took in, and this is like things from like soil to like solid rocks. This is where everything has been taken in and has poured out to like crystals and different rocks under high pressure, or formed into plants, and then these plants give off flowers or something like that, so it can be reestablished, re-emitted back into nature, and in a productive way, or in a way that constantly builds in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that all these things can't hurt nature. Majority of it doesn't. You get once in a while, it might get in contact with like different insects that might bore out a tree or something, or um, rocks may get cracks in it. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to make a point that um, our bodies do the same thing. We're just as much as nature as nature is itself, and we pee, poop, pour, sneeze, and we get pus um, from bacteria and viruses and phlegm and stuff like that. So it's only natural that we wouldn't necessarily need to. I'm not gonna scapegoat that and say what Dr. Sebi said, because Dr. Sebi said the body didn't come with a zipper, so we didn't need to undergo surgery. But it's actually true. We actually don't need to go into surgery, because there's been instances where people have taken herbs and spices to cure their conditions, and they've actually sneezed out tumors or certain illnesses, or uh, viral applications actually came out in spores, or what is it in like pimples. There's different things that came out in pimples. You don't all there's no possible way that you always have to cut tumors out. We would have never been able to continue as a society in the first place if that was our ultimate means of curing something. We would have always chose herbs. That's just and we we were intelligent enough to do even more than that before then. But in terms of us just being from the bush, and at one point in time, we would have never just cut people out, just took that out or nothing like that. But everything is natural, so you just can't say that we didn't, because if we would have saw that, we would have tripped out or something if we saw something like that. But you know, cutting it wouldn't have been, because we didn't want to hurt one another either. But it's just, what I'm saying, it doesn't seem right to undergo surgery in that matter at all for anything. Um, People be like eye surgery or something, or heart surgery. Um, you're in a different state of health. We're always thinking in terms of what we've always been taught, and how we actually feel about our bodies, and what we've actually learned through our time spaces, our time lapses in this society, but in actuality, majority of people that watch these videos have never ever even been to the jungle, not knowing that our respiratory system is actually hugely enhanced sleeping outside. Um, Pissing and shitting outside, eating fruits and vegetables outside. So, you know what I'm saying? You're not cutting anybody open, first of all. Second of all, you smell the healing power of these herbs around us. That's third. I don't even know if I said second, but I can count. I know, you know what I'm saying? I believe in myself. You know what I'm saying? That's third. Second if I missed it. But third or fourth, like, if we ever surpass that level of just knowing how our herbs work, we wouldn't necessarily I mean, knowing how our herbs work and just science in general, we would have bypassed simple injections. We would have went through a a remiotic stage, a stage in which we mix herbs, you know, all types of things, all types of herbal remedies to kill whatever it was. You know, first off, you know, not to even mention science, how advanced our sciences would be if we always use nature as well. You know, never cutting people open or nothing like that. And even if we did, because you know the Egyptians and there's been rumors that Aztecs did too, but those were extremely. The Aztec culture was extremely they were holistic healers. There were shamanics. There were herbal healers as well. I shouldn't use holistic or shamanics as well because I'm not up to par on that. But I do know they use herbs to a very high extent, and they were very well endowed in using these herbs of healing people. The Egyptians um the Egyptians were really not fascinated with the human anatomy. They seemed like they had that down packed, as well as the Aztecs. But it seemed like all these cultures were really infatuated not with the human body or the surgical uh, way of the human body. It wasn't. It was never that. They were extremely fascinated with the sexology, the sexuality of mankind. Period. So it was never about the healthcare of being surgical. They already knew how to heal people. They were just more fascinated about how to evolutionize themselves. So that, you know, using our ancestors against us in that fashion is incredible because you know they only show us what they want us to see, and what we do know is that these people were extremely obsessed with sexuality. All of them were, and it's the Holy Trinity. It all, you know, goes back to the light. You know, so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back in depth on that, anyways. You know, I don't want people to be so feeble-minded after I gave them all this knowledge, and you know, they wave on what you know. It's another trap of misinformation in which these societies want you to run into, so you can forget about what this great person is trying to tell you, all this truth that I just told you, and then they try to make you forget about it because of all this information that they put in place. So just in case you run into one of these niggas, bow, we got your ass, nigga. We told you some lies and some bullshit that I made in my closet, or you know, one of my old mansions from my old man's place. So he replicate that just in case y'all ass try to find out the truth, so we can keep y'all under control, type shit. So I'm gonna end this, post this, and shout out to all the real niggas. And I'm gonna start another one. Appreciate it.